find out tonight, and I haven't been called a virgin in quite some time. And I must say, I'm a little nervous because, you know, I met Neil and Sean and Lou, and they've been taking a lot of notes. And I'm like, I didn't realize this was like homework. Like I had to bring a pad and paper and take notes. You know, like I just wrote material and memorized it, and I'm just gonna do my shit. So hopefully that's okay. But I've learned. Okay, so in any of my jokes, I don't have any dog hair jokes because I didn't think those went down too well. I do have one stoner joke, okay, because I thought Mike got the crowd going with that. So I thought that was good. So I'm trying to learn as I go. But what I wanted to focus on tonight is holiday traditions. Because we're dressed up like Santa at holidays or in the holiday time. And we live in the perfect town of New Hope, which is like a Christmas town. So I always wanted a traditional holiday environment when I was growing up. And I would watch Hallmark movies and see people making, you know, cookies and decorating Christmas trees and having big family events. And I came from a very non-traditional family. So I grew up in California. My parents were divorced very young, and we had no immediate family around. So very small, no big family events going on. And my dad was very much a hard work ethic, education, thought religion was for, brainwashing and people who couldn't think on their own. And my mom was very spiritual, but very non-denominational. So our idea of church was we would go to the strip mall and we would bring our own folding chairs. And then just so she would make sure I had a good upbringing and I knew Bible stories, she would send me to vacation Bible school. And these were sleepaway camps where I'd go on some rickety bus. And I was kind of the bad girl. So I was I would learn some Bible stories in the day. But then I would usually, find the other bad girls and I would sneak into the boys' cabin and we would get stoned and we would let them fill us up. So, that was like my experience of religion.
Oh, no. That's it, it's over between us.
So then, but I always wanted this traditional life, that I never had. It always looked so nice. So fast forward, because of my parents were super loving parents, and I happened to be a very smart and very, educated girl, even though I was on the wild side. Woo-woo! I am, by the way, the only female comic or female entertainer tonight. So I just so anyway, in college I wound up. I went to the University of California, Berkeley, chemical engineer. And in my senior year of college, I met the man of my dreams. We're just gonna call him tonight husband number one. He was tall, you couldn't even fit in the ceiling. He was tall, dark, and he was getting his PhD in chemical engineering. He was my TA when I was getting my undergrad. And what also was perfect is he had a super traditional family. So his family was so traditional. They went to church every Sunday. They had all their family living in the Bay Area. They had family dinners every Sunday. It was great. So we started dating. And, and I had bad dates and a lot of, one night stands in college. So I thought, this is the one. This is the one. So after a month of us dating, he invites me over to his house because he's going to cook me dinner and we're going to watch a movie. And I'm like, ooh, this sounds code for we're finally going to have sex. And so I go to his house. He cooks this wonderful pasta dinner with wine. And I kid you not, this is early 90s. The movie we watched was Free Willy. Cuddled on his futon a little bit, he kissed a little bit, but the only Willy that was saved that night was the whale. So there was no other Willy free. So we dated another month or two, and the Willie did finally get freed, and it wasn't the whale, so that worked out. So, but then we started staying at each other's houses, in college, and I came over to his house one night, and remember, and some of you are too young, okay? So, but we used to have, the answering machines where you hit play, and everybody in the house can hear the machines. And anyone who's dating, should know you never hit play on that answering machine if someone you're dating is in the house. So we come to his apartment, we stayed over each other's places. He hits play, and it's his dad. And his dad says, "Son, we noticed you've been gone a few nights overnight when we've tried to call you." Now keep in mind, he's 25 years old, right? He's been in San Diego State for 4 years, 3 years in grad school. He's not like a little kid. "And we just want you to remember the sanctimony of marriage, how important it is for you to save yourself for the one true love you're going to marry." Now, that should have been red flag number 1. But me, I'm thinking this is the perfect man. I'm thinking, I just heard marriage. So anyway, a couple months later, then he proposes. So I accept. And then we start hanging out with his family. He introduces me to his family. And so I went all in. So I'm going to church, and I was impressed. We went to church and they had actual wood pews. You could sit down and stained glass. You didn't have to bring your own chairs. And I got, it was great because I got baptized. I did the church, special. I got baptized. I read all the scriptures. I got Lutheran certified. I got I was like a card-carrying Lutheran, I am in. I was doing potlucks. So anyway, then Christmas comes. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait. This is going to be my first traditional Christmas. We're going to do everything with the family. We're going to have all the kids around. It's going to be wonderful. So we all go. He has a tradition, on Christmas Eve, everybody gets together at one of the aunt's house and opens presents and has a big dinner. So I'm thinking, this is my future in-laws. So I go and I get great presents for the mother-in-law, my father-in-law, all the nieces and nephews. And so we're sitting around the table and we have the meal and I'm looking at all the presents. And then they say, oh, before we open presents, we have to do the cake. And I notice his mom is over there lighting up what looks to be like a birthday cake. And I'm like, oh, I love Christmas birthdays. I wonder whose birthday it is. Oh, this is so cute. We can sing happy birthday. So they sing, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jesus. Who has a freaking Jesus birthday cake? And I've never seen this in any Hallmark. Like a Jesus birthday cake. What the hell is going on? This just seems wrong. And then I'm looking over at the tree and I see all these presents. And I'm like, holy shit, I didn't get a present for Jesus. Oh my God. And then I'm thinking, what would you even get Jesus? And then I'm like, maybe like a wine bottle opener? Maybe a bread maker? Maybe some mustard seed? I don't know. So Jesus' birthday cake was red flag number 2. Okay. So anyway, we get married, we have the church wedding, he finishes graduate school, and he gets a great job in New Jersey. So that's what got me to the East Coast. So we moved to New Jersey. But then I noticed that, when we would have family discussions, that because we had to live with his parents for a bit while we were getting ready to relocate, I was starting to really disagree with a lot of the fundamental ideas they had. Like, for instance, Like, I didn't believe babies go to hell if you don't sprinkle a few drops of water on their head. Like, that whole concept of baptism was like, I'm not down with that. And I was always open to gay relationships, gay marriage. It's like, I don't think these people are going to hell. Like, I think God is love. And I was very pro-choice. So you know what? I said, whatever, we're going to New Jersey. So we get to New Jersey.
Yeah, what the heck?
We have married. My career takes off. We're both working. And we're in New Jersey for a year and a half or so. And I'm traveling a lot. And all of a sudden he's like, I thought I was going to have some like home-cooked dinners. And I'm like, maybe not. I'm not sure that was such a deal. And I know that I saw those in a Hallmark movie. So anyway, his parents call us, and then his parents say, hey, guess what? We've decided to retire, and we're gonna buy an RV, and we're going to move across the country and stay with you guys. So, you know, that was red flag number 3. And that's all it takes. And that's when I discovered men are a lot like houses. You can choose to either spend time fixing them and all the investment and time and effort, or you can upgrade and I'm like, hey, I'm upgrading.
Good girl.
So then,
You did well.
we got divorced. So then, a couple months later, I had the good fortune, and I met the man of my dreams. Oh my God, he was perfect. So he was husband number 2. And he was perfect because he was a recovering Catholic who had nuns and rulers and all kinds of shit. I don't know what they do. And he wanted nothing to do with religion. And that was fine with me. We both had our careers. We had 2 wonderful kids. We're doing our family stuff. Things are going good. And then our kids get to be around 5 or 6 years old. And I'm starting to think, I think our kids need to believe in a higher power. They need to believe in something, bigger than just us. And more importantly, they need something that is more fearful and makes them feel more guilty than just us parents. So I have 3 rules for finding a religion. The first rule was you got to be kind and accepting and loving towards all people. That's a no-brainer. Second rule is got to be simple. I don't want all these ceremonies and scriptures and classes and all that. The third rule is I do not want to get out of my pajamas on Sunday. So we happened upon this new religion, which you guys may not have heard of yet. It's a new religion. It's unknown and it's often misunderstood. It's called Santism. Santism. Have you heard of Santism?
No.
Now, when I would tell parents that we practice Santism, they would get confused because they would think I said Satanism. I'm like, no, Satanism, you wear little red horns and you do evil things. Santaism is you wear a red hat and you bring love, joy, and cheer for all the world to see.
Yes.
That's Santaism. And some people would accuse Santaism of being commercialism. And I would educate them that Santaism goes far deeper than kids getting toys. There is a rich history of stories and songs and movies about how Santaism can be a moral compass for you to live your whole life by, not just at Christmas time. For instance, we used to keep a naughty list on the refrigerator. And anytime the kids would do something naughty, or the parents, we would write it down. And at the end of each week, we would ask Santa to forgive our sins. And he would, and we would wipe the naughty list clean. And it was fine, because we were all learning how to live kinder. And when my son got picked on at school, we would remind him of the Book of Rudolph. The Book of Rudolph, all the reindeer never let Rudolph play any reindeer games. But Santa saw his uniqueness. Santa saw what he could be. And then one foggy night, Christmas Eve, Santa, he used Rudolph's special gifts to save Christmas. See, so he saw Santa's special gifts.
Nice.
And one of my favorite Santa's disciples was Yukon Cornelius. You guys know Yukon Cornelius? Yukon Cornelius not only taught us that bumbles can bounce, but he taught the secret of humility to the bumble. After the bumble got all his teeth removed, the bumble came and worked for Santa, and he got the job of putting the star on the Christmas tree every year. And Santism helped us in some really dark times. It did. Well, when the kids, especially, a true story, when we lost my mom at a very young age of 62, we sat the kids down on the couch and we explained that Grandma is not here anymore, but her soul lives on. And Grandma has gone to a magical place to watch over you called the North Pole, where she will work with Santa and the elves to watch over you. So I'm just proud. We raised our kids very well. My daughter's here tonight. Give her a round of applause. She's practicing Santism still today. So she's practicing Santism. She came out very, very good. So last bit. So after 17 years of marriage and 3 years in what my starter marriage was, I decided it was time for another upgrade. So at that point, since again men are like houses, I decided after 2 back-to-back contracts, it was now time to rent. I was going to rent.
Yes! Smart girl!
So I came to New Hope, and I met the man of my dreams. And we're going to call him boyfriend number 3. And he happens to be here tonight, Mr. Terry Marks. But actually, I think we're on more what I would call a long-term lease, because we've been going out for 5 years. And so it's a longer term, but we both agree there's no option to buy.
No.
So I just want to leave you with one. Since I've been in New Hope the last few years, I've been reevaluating my spiritual principles and practices. And while I'm still very strongly rooted in Santism, because I believe in acceptance and freedom for everyone, I have been feeling like I wanted to have more fun and be part of the community and experience the rich life with the bars and the restaurants here. So the past few years, I've been actively practicing alcoholism. I feel like it complements Santism very well. I do, because many of my drunken friends, much of you are here today, it makes me feel very, very much more accepting of my drunken friends. And anything that I would have done that would have made the naughty list, I don't even remember. So thank you all, and I hope you have a happy holiday.
Unbelievable.